Hi there, Dr. Whitney Rogers here, and today I'm going to be chatting with you about nurturing the gut to improve pain. Like I said, my name is Dr. Whitney Rogers. I am a doctor of physical therapy, a therapeutic pain specialist, and a certified athletic trainer, and I'm coming to you today as a pain coach. By the end of this presentation, I really hope that you will know a little bit more information about pain neuroscience. I hope that you understand how pain is influenced by brain health, how brain health is influenced by gut health, and how gut health is influenced by what you ingest and absorb through nutrition. Now, I believe this presentation is going to be valuable for anyone. However, I feel that the people here that struggle with chronic pain are going to get even more out of this presentation today. We have a problem. It's a major problem, and I want to talk about this today. Did you know that more than 25% of the U.S. adult population suffers from chronic pain? And 8% of the U.S. adult population is limited in at least one major life activity because of chronic pain. Just so you know, chronic pain is pain lasting anywhere longer than 3 months, and it's very debilitating on the body and on life. Chronic pain is one of the most common reasons adults seek medical care. It's hard to argue the fact that pain is a really good motivator. Chronic pain is also a large driver in America's current opioid crisis. So what is pain? I ask this a lot, and in most cases, I get this response. It is very unpleasant, and yes, that is correct. It is very unpleasant. However, I have good news for you, and that is that pain is actually a very effective and essential part of life. It's a protection and an alert of danger, often before we're even injured. It's capable of making us move, think, and behave differently, and this is vital for healing. Pain is normal, and it's an excellent response to what our brain judges as a threatening situation. Unfortunately, though, chronic pain is linked to restrictions in mobility and daily activities, anxiety and depression, reduced quality of life, and dependence on opioids. So let's talk about opioids. In 2019, more than 153 million opioids were prescribed in the US. Luckily, this number is steadily decreasing since 2012, but this is a major problem. 21 to 29% of people who are prescribed opioids for chronic pain misuse them. And 8 to 12% of people who use an opioid for chronic pain develop an opioid use disorder. Today alone, 130 Americans will die from opioid misuse. This is awful, and there has to be a better way, right? There is, and we're going to talk about it. This here is the Biopsychosocial Model of pain. This may be something that you have not heard about before, but I am very passionate about it and love sharing it with others. This model shows us that pain is the interconnection between biology, psychology, and socio-environmental factors. This model shows us that pain does not equal tissue damage. Have you ever gotten a paper cut? It hurts like heck, right? Okay, so have you ever been bit by a shark? My guess is no, and that's a good thing. But we've all likely seen someone being bit by a shark on TV or on the internet or something, and we see these people and we hear their stories about how they were able to swim to shore without even noticing that they've lost a limb with no pain. Okay, what is this? What does this mean? The brain prioritizes life in this dangerous situation. So again, pain does not equal tissue damage. Just because a paper cut really, really hurts does not mean that there's more than the same amount of damage that a person has when they're bit by a shark. But at that moment, the brain takes priority because brain is really, really good at prioritizing, takes priority over life rather than sending danger messages to send pain. Pain is a response to what your brain judges as a threatening situation in the moment. Pain can be increased by stress, anxiety, depression, job issues, family issues, etc. Pain comes from the brain 100% of the time. Now, typically when I say this, I get a couple blank stares, but I want you to know that never when I say this am I saying pain is all in your head. No, 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 no. What I'm saying is that as a scientist, I know that pain comes from the brain. The brain happens to be in your head, but I know that pain is very, very real. When actual or potential danger is presented chronically, the brain becomes sensitized. This causes the pain to persist, spread, and worsen. Lots of movements, even really small ones, hurt. Pain becomes less predictable, it links more to your thoughts and feelings, and it links to other threats in life. Speaking of threats, let's picture this. You're sitting in your living room watching TV, and you hear a large crash behind you. You turn around and you see this ginormous lion standing behind you with his teeth all out, ready to get you. Yikes. What are you going to do in this case? I can guarantee you that your fight or flight response is going to take full force and you are going to get the heck out of there. But let me ask you a question. If you knew that this lion was a very kind and gentle one, and you've seen it interact with other people in the past, and maybe even if it was a little bit smaller and cuter, like this little kitten, would you react differently? Of course you would. So we can think about pain in the same way. Pain management should be all about shrinking that lion, making it more approachable, and allowing your body to come out of the fight or flight response. Whether the body is presented with an actual or potential threat, the response is the same either way. Your heart rate rises, the body floods with natural steroids like cortisol and adrenaline, the immune system releases chemical messengers called inflammatory cytokines, you have inflammation throughout the body, and the system is on high alert. This causes chronic pain and chronic disease. But guess what? If the gut meets a substance or an ingredient that it does not like, it experiences this same response. So, let's talk about the microbiome. The microbiome is the aggregate of all microbiota that reside in or on human tissues. Microbiota basically is bacteria, archaea, fungi, protists, and viruses. Some are good, some are bad. The brain and the digestive system are connected through the microbiome and the enteric nervous system. The internal ecology of the gut has everything to do with our general health and wellness. That state of the microbiome is key to human health. In fact, it affects our mood, libido, metabolism, immunity, perception of the world, and clarity of our thoughts. The brain and the nervous system are very sensitive to change in the gut. So then it would make sense that how we experience pain can also be affected by this change, right? Let's talk for a minute about any stresses or pains that you have experienced in the past. Have you noticed that your stomach feels a little bit uneasy? Maybe you've noticed that you feel nauseous, or you feel it doing flips, or maybe you feel butterflies, or even feel some stomach pain. There is scientific reasoning behind this. It's your enteric nervous system that helps regulate digestion. It's sometimes referred to as the second brain, as it relies on the same types of neurons and neurotransmitters that are found in the brain and the spinal cord. There are neurons that line the digestive tract that help break down food properly, and neurotransmitters that communicate with the brain. In times of stress, digestion is put on hold as it's no longer a priority in that moment. So things like public speaking, encountering a bear in the woods, skiing a steep mogul run, or falling off of a bike, you're not digesting during those times. So then an increased permeability in the gut, as well as a change in the complexion of the gut bacteria, leads to a leaky gut and further inflammation throughout the body. Now, this system can also work inversely, where the gastrointestinal distress can actually increase anxiety and stress. What we put in our mouth and how we feed our gut bacteria affects our brain's functionality. So as I mentioned earlier, increased anxiety and stress can increase physical pain. So as you can imagine, this can turn into a very vicious cycle. Okay, so now that we know a little bit more, let's revisit the opioid crisis. How about we let food be our medicine and medicine be our food? People will be so quick to take a little pill to treat symptoms, yet they ignore the underlying disorder. There is no pharmaceutical that will even come close to a dietary prescription. Turning to the gut may be a really great start if the end goal includes lowering inflammation, increasing immunity, and decreasing pain. Also, a healthy gut can help reduce the risk of depression, diabetes, Alzheimer's, stroke, Parkinson's, cancer, cardiovascular disease, anxiety, obesity, headaches, etc., etc. So then, how do we use food as medicine? It is possible to significantly change the complexion of the microbiome in as little as 6 days. Based on the most recent science, here are the essential key players in a healthy microbiome. First, choose foods rich in pre and probiotics. Enjoy wine, tea, coffee, and chocolate in moderation. That's always good to hear. Drink filtered water. Ensure you're getting enough vitamin D. Most people are not. Get plenty of sleep. Exercise daily. And focus on a low-carb, high-quality fat, high-fiber diet. We're going to dive into this. Stay away from sugar. The more sugar consumed, the sicker the microbiome. Why they make it taste so good, I do not know. Also, avoid gluten, as this is one of the most inflammatory ingredients of the modern era. Diets high in sugar and low in fiber fuel bad bacteria and increase inflammation. An anti-inflammatory diet is good for the gut and the brain. Suggested foods include vegetables, low sugar fruit, fermented foods, healthy fat, protein, and herbs and seasonings. Organic and GMO is always best. Non-GMO, sorry. If convenience is an important factor for you, then Life by Secret products are a great option to help fulfill this diet and improve the health of the microbiome. I hope you keep this in mind next time you're thinking about ordering some shake and greens because you're hoping to lose a few pounds. Because eating healthy is not just about looking good or fitting into last year's skinny jeans. Eating healthy is about fueling your body in the way that it was meant to be powered. It's about keeping the body and the brain happy and healthy and prepared to live a full, high-quality life, hopefully pain-free. It's about investing in your health instead of waiting to invest in disease. If you are a person who struggles with chronic pain, I hope you know, first of all, that you're not alone. And second of all, that your diagnosis does not define you. It is only a small part of you. Nurture your gut, and just maybe the sun will shine a little brighter, that lion will shrink a little bit, pain can decrease, and you can live a high quality of life. Here are the references that I used today. I want to thank you so much for attending this presentation today. It has been a pleasure for me. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll be talking to you soon.